I don't like to get too esoteric when I'm talking about the surfing experience. The idea that wavelengths stop and the energy of a wave that's travelled, started perhaps in solar winds between the sun and earth, and then has created pressure above our atmospheres and then moved through the upper atmosphere down to create downward pressure, which makes the wind, which the wind then makes enough fetch to create waves, and then we ride these waves, and that it all stops there is not something that everyone thinks happens, that the wave and the energy of the wave stops at the shoreline.
It's his path. He's taken his own way, and it didn't matter with him. He was too talented. I didn't think it mattered which direction he was going to go.
Even from a young age, I could see that surfing is something that is intrinsic in living an amazing and blessed and healthy, stoked life. And that's come from literally sitting with people in their 60s and 70s who are still surfing and have that crazy sparkle in their eye and just seem lit up and going, hey, how'd you do that?
Me and my wife were walking on the beach one day, and I said, that's Dave Rastovich surfing there. So we stood there and watched him, and he came out of the water and he was riding an EPS board, and he didn't have a clue who I was, right? So I said, nice board, and he's looking at us and going, who are these fucking idiots, And I said, and I talked to him, and you could see he was uncomfortable, right? And he wanted to go home on his push bike. And I said, my name's Dick Fairstrala. And then he went, what? And I said, yeah. And I said, I hear you want some boards. And he said, yes. I said, well, just come around to the factory tomorrow. Next day, he came around to the factory with his father, and that was the start of it. He was 15, now he's 35, nearly 20 years. I make surfboards that challenge people so they think about themselves and think about where they're going in surfing. And Dave really liked that. I challenged every board I've ever made him, I just challenge him.
1 fin, 2 fin, 3 fin, no fin, short, long, fat, flat, wide, skinny, you name it. Just learning from elders and those who have come before us, you see that the most stoked surfers have diversity in their life, and specifically diversity in the way they ride waves. He took me under his wing when I was a 14-year-old, sort of wondering what I wanted to be doing with surfing and life, and just forming my ideas around that.
Dave and I got picked up about the same time. And next thing you know, we were kind of thick as thieves together. And he was such a talented surfer that we'd all kind of heard this kid from Burleigh who was an amazing tube rider. People ask me who's the best surfer you've ever surfed with, and who's the best you've ever seen surf, and I think it's him.
Everyone's unique, but it's all got to do with your build. Like, he's got a very lower centre of gravity. You look at his body, his legs are short, he's got a long upper thing, he's got a concave chest. That's why he body surfs so well.
I remember when he said he was never going to compete again, and then he's like, this is it, I'm done, I'm finished. And yeah, he was probably, I guess he wasn't one for competing.
I saw him having trouble way back in the early days with professional surfing. And I said, you don't really like doing this, do you? And he said, no, in surfing it's just a matter of opinion.
And I remember just as a little tacker even going into surfing contests and going out and having a blast and feeling like, man, that was a really good time. I really enjoyed that, coming in and then having someone say, oh no, you're a loser, you just lost. And then coming home and being bummed. I remember feeling like, what's going on with this? Like, I just spent a day at the beach. And then, you know, when someone's like, man, you should be riding 3 fins and 6 feet of foam, it's like, fuck you, there's no way. You got no right to tell me how to surf or how to experience the ocean. My partner Lauren just has such a way with words where she talks about meaningful play. I really feel like that's what surfing is. There's just this feeling of it being kind of pointless in the same way art on the wall of your house is not really serving any purpose, but hey, for some reason it feels good to have the art on the wall. And surfing's kind of the same, you know, like we're not getting a meal or anything to show at the end of riding a wave. Any time in my life where something challenging's happened, it's changed everything. It's soothed pains that are really real. I remember when my dad died, I just kept going to the ocean and it made a huge difference. You know, so that's why it's not just play. It's not just this silly thing we go do. It's more meaningful than that.